Hello gamers, welcome back to another episode of Vidja Game Hunting. Really excited about this one. This is going to be my haul from a weekend game hunting road trip with my buddies Andy and Nate down to Sioux Falls, South Dakota, continuing south to Sioux City, and ending up in Omaha. We've got a ton of stuff, I got a ton of footage from those stores, and I'm struggling to figure out how I can make this video fit into a reasonable time length so I don't bore you all to death with an hour-long video. I thought about it long and hard. I think I know what we need. Are you ready? Alright, so now the main reason for this road trip is every year there is a store in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, Last Stop CD Shop. What they do is they do 50% off all of their video game inventory. Massive sale, massive opportunity to get filler games you need for your collection at dirt cheap prices, or just save a ton of money on some of those, you know, higher tier games that you're just not going to get a break on anywhere else. So we hopped in the car, we drove down. I'm going to go through as much of this stuff, mostly just in order of system instead of where I got them, but for the most part, this NES stuff that we're going to look at first came from Sioux Falls. I'll call up the stuff that didn't, but let's get into this. Danny Sullivan's Indie Heat. Copy of Vice Project Doom. This came with the manual. Alpha Mission from SNK. Love SNK. Hollywood Squares, not super exciting. This one came from Sioux City. Battleship. Infiltrator. Bugs Bunny's Birthday Blowout. Good old Rampage. A very beat up copy, but heavily discounted because of it. Copy of Wizards and Warriors 3. That came from Omaha. Atari Warriors by SNK again. WrestleMania Steel Cage Challenge with manual. Ultima Exodus. Title game, Target Renegade. This came from Sioux City. It is a reproduction cart of Sweet Home by Capcom. This is kind of an early horror game. It didn't leave Japan, but it's awesome to get this repro. I think I paid 25 bucks for it, which I thought was a steal of a deal. I've been playing a little bit of that game. It is good. Nigel Mansell's World Championship Racing. F-117A Stealth Fighter. Boxed copy of Caesar's Palace. A weirdly bubbled, I've had this happen on a few other NES games, copy of Tennis, black box game for the NES. Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. I got that one in Omaha. Jeopardy! 25th Anniversary Edition. Lunar Pool with manual copy of Rocket Ranger. Copy of Round Ball 2-on-2 Challenge. That'll support up to 4 players, which is great. And a Wisdom Tree game here, Spiritual Warfare. Now that is the end of my NES games that I picked up on the trip, but I do have some more Nintendo NES related era stuff. So I picked up some copies of Nintendo Power. I think these were like 3 for $4. No, they weren't that cheap. I think they were $4 a piece. If you bought 3, you got them at $3 a piece. So yeah, we'll go with that. Something like that. It was a good deal. I like picking those up. I also got this small set of official Nintendo stickers, vintage. I think these were another like $2 a piece or something like that. Buy 3 get 1 free sort of deal. Some Nintendo cartridge carrying cases. I've always wanted these. I never see them. These were at a decent price. I think they were 10. I think I got 3 here. I think I paid 10 for all of them, or a piece. So I got the black one, a little more beat up, but I got the cool gray one. And then one I'd never seen before, this Gamekeeper for Nintendo. You can't tell me you wouldn't look badass walking down the street as a kid with this thing thrown over your shoulder. It's awesome. Anytime I can get something weird like this in the box, I'm gonna go for it. All right, some more stuff from the 50% off sale. Complete copy of Dynamite Headdy for the Genesis. And then a stack of Wii U games. For whatever reason, these Wii U games were extremely cheap. The prices have gone down, I think, since a lot of the stuff's been ported to the Switch. And at 50% off, you might be able to see the prices that I paid for these. They're just too good to pass up. Got a copy of Pokken Tournament, Injustice, Gods Among Us. Actually, this is not from the 50% off sale, but it is for Wii U. Pac-Man and the Ghostly Adventures. I have the second one, and I've got the first. And then I know this is bad, but I really wanted to try it anyway. Walking Dead, Survival Instinct. And then a copy of Attack on Titan 2. I'm a really big fan of Attack on Titan. I didn't pick up the first game, but I figured the second could only improve upon that, so why not go for it? See, this is from the 50% off sale too. I don't think it was on accessories though. I got the GameCube mic. Need that. I just picked up Odama. And then one of the biggest disappointments from that sale was some of the rare games they claimed were not part of the 50% off sale. I had my eye set on a copy of Snow Brothers for the NES. Sadly, they said it didn't count. So I left a little defeated, but what I did find later on in the weekend down in Omaha is a copy of Snow Brothers for the Game Boy. Did not know I got a Game Boy port. A lot of these Capcom Game Boy ports at the end of the NES era were really good. And I'm a big fan of Snow Brothers, so I had to grab it. Kind of made me feel a little bit better about missing out on that gem that I thought I was going to come home with. So I'll take it. And then one last thing from that sale, Andy picked me up a copy of Troubles for the Game Boy Color. I know nothing about this. It just looks like a guy is reaching climax on the cover, which I think is kind of hilarious. That's probably why Andy picked it up for me. So thanks, Andy. Appreciate that. And then now we're going to get into the rest of the stuff. So we hit every game store. Nate did not continue on this trip. Andy and I, though, went south and hit every game store and Target we could in Sioux City and Omaha. Targets this time of year have fantastic clearance, so you're going to see some pickups from there. And let's get into it. So one of the coolest things that I found, I think, is a copy of Street Fighter II Turbo for the Panasonic 3DO. You never see 3DO games, and not only did we find this copy of Street Fighter II Turbo, we found a second copy that was not as complete. It was just disc and manual. Andy and I picked them both up because, again, you just don't see it. It's supposed to be a great port. So he let me take the nicer one. I appreciate that. Thanks, Andy. I'm really looking forward to trying this one out. And then I also picked up some cheap Sega Saturn import games. Sea Bass Fishing. This store, Ben's Games in Omaha, had a fantastic selection of like all different systems, a ton of just straight Sega Saturn stuff, all expensive because it's always expensive, but then they had a nice import section too, so I gravitated for that because I'm a cheap ass. We've got World Fishing, I have no idea what this is. It just looked like a weird sampler and very Japanese, so I'm kind of curious. I think it was $7. And then this game, Eve Burst Error, which I wasn't gonna buy because it looked incredibly pervy, but Andy told me that had to come home with me. I guess, you know, if you're gonna be an import Saturn guy, you gotta take the pervy stuff. So I'm that dude now. Gonna probably hide that in the back of the game room so my kids don't find it. So let's go into some Target clearance now quickly. I did pick up a copy of Monster Hunter Stories, $11.99. I'm gonna give that to my buddy Scott. I picked myself up a copy too, but he was looking for it. A copy of Shaq Fu for the PS4. I already have it for the Wii, not the Wii, the Switch. But you know, for $6, I'm not gonna pass it up. Shenmue 1 and 2, $8.98 on the Xbox One, and then BioShock Collection, $11.98. Couldn't pass those up. And now some really cool stuff. So there was a great store down there called Pop Culture Exchange, I want to say, in Omaha. And Andy and I kind of wrote it off. It was a newer store. We hadn't heard of it. We just assumed it was like a Funko Pop type store. We weren't, you know, we're not that into that stuff. But we went there anyway, and thank God we did, because this store was amazing. They had amazing vintage toys. They had a ton of games for obscure consoles. You know, you're talking Neo Geo AES, you're talking Jaguar, 3DO, Virtual Boy games. It was just an awesome store. We got there about 45 minutes before they closed. I would have loved to have had a few more hours to just really explore that. But I came home with some stuff that I was just super pumped about. So even at conventions, I've been having a hard time finding Jaguar games, but they had 3 that I did not have at this store. So I got NBA Jam Tournament Edition. That's sure to be one of the better games in the Jaguar. Flashback Quest for Identity. And then Trevor McFur in the Crescent Galaxy. I finally played this one. I was always curious about it, never found it. This is not a great game. I mean, it's okay. By Jaguar standards, this might actually be pretty awesome. But it's not a great game overall. The best part is I picked this up in Omaha, and on the back there is a rental sticker for a premiere video in St. Cloud, Minnesota, which is just a couple hours east of us. So it's funny that ended up so far south when it really originated kind of where I'm out of. And then I also picked up a copy of Star Wars Rebel Assault. They did a nice job of making these cases to put them all in. It is just the disc though. But it looked like a fun game for the 3DO, and it was $10. Andy actually walked out with a ton of 3DO stuff. I think he had like 6 or 7 games. They all looked great. They were all priced reasonably well. So Pop Culture Exchange, if you are in the Omaha area, you gotta check that store out. It's fantastic. And I also got the sweet Super Mario Maker Snow Globe, which my son has already claimed. I figured he would, but that was cool. And then Gamers. So Gamers, I think, was a chain down in that area, Omaha area, that has gone under. But like somebody had bought those stores out and were resurrecting it, basically selling off the old inventory they acquired. The store was a mess. The employees were middlingly engaged in what they were doing, but I did find a game there that I wanted. That's a Saturn game. That's Bust-A-Move 2 Arcade Edition. I love Bust-A-Move, and this will be great to have on the Saturn. And then I'm a little ashamed to admit it, because I've sworn off Amiibo several times, but I walked in to a store and they had the new Ridley Amiibo out. I love Metroid. I've got the other Metroid Amiibo. I had to get this one to complete the set. So, damn it, Nintendo, you got me again. And then while I had that one, Wolf was also there. So against my better judgment, I grabbed Wolf. More Amiibo. Sweet. But anyway, that is my haul. It was an excellent weekend. Probably one of the best weekends of game hunting. Most fun I've had. Some weather. We ran into a winter storm a little bit. But we got to check out a cool barcade also down in Omaha. Just got to have a lot of fun with friends and get some amazing stuff that I just don't see, and some great deals that I'll never see again until the sale comes up next year. So I know that was a lot. I know I went over it quickly. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. As always, thanks for watching.